England's most haunted hoax. I'm Rebecca Lieb.
I'm Jason Horton.
And this is Ghost Town.
Hello. Hello. Yeah. Margaret's sleeping and talking. Margaret's sleeping and talking. Margaret's sleeping and talking. Wow. Oh, sleep. It's a crash, go to sleep, and it's talking. Sound, then. Hello. Lovers room talking. Janet, Margaret, and Betty, oh, they're sleeping, it's talking. I will, yeah. Hello, Mr. Playfair. Margaret's sleeping, I'm talking. I'm going. Betty.
Now, you'd think that audio came from a scary old ghost man. Mm-mm. But that voice came from an 11-year-old girl.
A little girl.
Which makes, along with the photos, makes a very compelling case for a haunting.
Yes.
Better known as the Enfield Poltergeist or the Enfield haunting.
Yes.
Pretty classic.
Very classic in lots of ways, but also because of the media involved with it. The proof, quote unquote, that people had to use for and against, really. So that is a really fascinating part of this haunting in particular.
It was, like I said, it had the audio, it had the photos, I think it had the place. Mm-hmm. England is very, you know what I mean? It's gothic.
Very, exactly. Foggy.
The 1970s, perfect. 1977,
oh,
perfect.
Hell yeah. You have lo-fi technology, but it's not crazy iPhone shit.
And they all already look haunted.
Yeah, everyone's pale as hell. It's, dark, cold.
Yeah, so...
tiny British children.
Janet Hodgson is probably the center point of this. She's the star of this show. And at 284 Green Street in Enfield, north of London, I guess. Probably wrong about that. It's in England.
Yeah.
That's enough. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. You can
know.
look it up yourself.
But in the evening of August 30th, 1977, again, great year for this stuff.
Oh,
perfect.
yeah, baby.
Star Wars is out.
Oh, my God.
It was out that year. The Exorcist just came out. The Omen just came out.
You got some fun, ringer tees. You got high-waisted, bell-bottom pants.
I love David Cassidy.
Sweaters.
I love him.
Yeah, you got long-ass hair.
It's just perfect for this, and I think this is why it really works. And also, nobody has the hindsight of the internet, so forth and so on. But August 30th, 1977, Peggy Hodgson, the mother, she was getting her kids to bed, and then she heard Janet complaining from upstairs that her and her brother's bed were wobbling.
Earthquake.
She's like, stop complaining. They're wobbling.
Enough. This is the 70s.
So she told her daughter, listen, it's fine. You're just being a kid. You don't want to go to bed. Then the mother eventually went to the bedroom, and Janet's Starsky and Hutch posters on the wall, was there. And then she saw the chest of drawers move. She pushed it back, and she found it was being propelled towards the door by an invisible force. Allegedly.
Exactly.
I'm saying it as if that's the thing about this.
Believe everything we say.
Believe everything we say.
Everything.
And it seemed that, something supernatural was here.
Yeah.
And then, even later on, Janet told a Channel 4 documentary reporter, starting in the back bedroom, the chest of drawers moved and you can hear shuffling. Mom said, I want you to pack it in. We told her what was going on. She came to see it for herself. She saw the chest of drawers moving. We tried to push it back. She couldn't. Then Janet's sister Margaret explained how the activity increased. Strange little noises in the house. You couldn't make out what was going on. None of us slept. We put on our dressing gowns and slippers. Also very iconic.
Very London.
We went next door. They asked for help from their neighbors, Vic and Peggy Nottingham. I mean, that's the. I mean, what?
Were they cleaning a chimney at the time?
So Vic, went there. Vic Nottingham. Mm-hmm. He says, "quote I went in there and I couldn't make out these noises. There was a knocking on the wall in the bedroom on the ceiling. I was beginning to get frightened." And then Margaret adds, she's like, "I didn't know what to do. I've never seen a big man like that," meaning Vic, look so scared. Hodgson's called the police. Police were like, "We don't know what's happening." Now, one of the police officers said she saw a chair move. Mm-hmm. Again, this is all very alleged.
Yes.
She was like, "Hey, they're hidden wires. What's going on?" But she just could not explain it. They contact the press. And then it turns into this whole thing.
It's a zoo. It's crazy.
It's, and the thing is, it's like, well, why would the mother and the kids be in on this hoax together? Mm-hmm. What could they possibly gain?
It's like, what did the mom gather the kids together and was like, we're bored. Let's create ghosts.
What can they get out of this except for tons of attention? And I would say, if you're familiar with the Amityville horrors,
yes, it's a similar,
it's very, very, very similar
sentiment. But at the same time, it's like, to what end? Like what? Okay, I mean, we'll get there. We'll discuss this, but just have that in the back of your mind.
So a lot of what happened is, I was looking around doing some research, and what would it be is every time the kids would be like, I can summon the ghost, but you have to turn around and face the wall. Mm-hmm. And then it would be like, and then things being thrown.
Yeah.
But it's only when you turn your back because the ghost didn't want to see ya. Yeah. So, I mean, and the bottom line is, is it possible that, kids 11 and 12 would make up something like that? Would they ever
kids
do that?
Never
Possibly.
Lie.
They don't ever want
Middle
attention. They don't like to cause
lie.
trouble. Mm-hmm. And I think, the mother came up there and was like, "What's going on?" and probably figured out. It's like, "Oh, maybe at first," and then was like, "You know what? I didn't really see anything. At least maybe I think I did. But I would like to go and make because she's a single mom.
Yeah.
Which was kind of like a little bit, I think, rare back then. Had a bunch of kids. And I'm just speculating on that end. But it was like, I want there to be a media circus around this. And, most people have kind of debunked it's just the girl just being like, "I'm an old man," and doing that. And they are still sticking to the. They're still sticking to the story.
When you explain it that way, it's like I think parents can have their own issues and shortcomings. So the idea of a parent being like, "I don't know, do this to get famous, I guess that's fine." Or maybe the kids were a little out of control. She was just tired, and she was like, "Fine, it's haunted. I guess it's haunted. Call up."
And I think at that time
Times.
is because if you. I've checked out patreon.com/ghosttownpod. We did an episode. There's an episode on there about Ghost Watch, also that took place in England.
Yeah. You know what? They are very suggestible people over there.
I think
across the pond.
Is the Omen British? I don't know. I can't remember. I haven't seen it.
Either.
I haven't seen it in a while. And even Janet admits that they fabricated some of the stuff.
Oh. It's like, when do you stop admitting? Why?
Yeah, she told ITV News in 1980, "Oh yeah, once or twice we faked the phenomenon. Just to see if Mr. Gross and Mr. Playfair would catch us. They always did." Mm. And but Janet's still to this day, no, this definitely happened. They asked how much she thought was faked. Mm-hmm. She'd say about 2%. So 1 2%. Boo, that's how many things?
How do you do the percentiles on that? The percentages.
And she's like, "I knew when the voices were happening. Of course, it felt like something was behind me all the time. They did all sorts of tests, filling my mouth with water, but the voices still came out."
Yeah, I remember that too.
The pictures are very iconic. When you see the pictures, you're like, "I know this is
so scary."
Yeah.
Honestly, very, very scary. Obviously, the recordings are very eerie. It's just, I guess I've also watched so much Paranormal Witness at this point where I'm like, I don't know, something happened maybe. I don't, what triggers a family to start doing this? Not to say I believe in ghosts, because we've discussed this at length. I am a skeptic. I'm fascinated by it. I think it's really interesting. But like, at what point does this family have a history of doing other pranks and hoaxes? Do they get in trouble? Or like, what? I need more context for this, you know? And it's hard because it was the 70s, so it's not like you have, you know, a paper trail lying around of the dynamic of this family.
And a lot of the pictures are explained away. They look great, but it looks
awesome.
like it looks like somebody jumped off the bed that's right there, and then they caught it mid.
Yeah,
but it looks amazing,
it's horrifying. It's very scary.
I mean, you couldn't do a better job. Like, you couldn't do a better job if you really like tried to recreate it. I think it was. But she did get bullied, because I know you like to hear about bullying.
I do.
You were saying before that you think bullying's good. I don't know what you're dealing
Wow,
with.
that's weird that you heard that.
Yeah, I
That's
know. I
very
heard you were
odd.
like love bullying or something like that.
It's
Weird.
my quote. It's my quote on my Twitter.
Yeah. Jan says, I was bullied at school. They called me Ghost Girl. Not very creative.
No, also
Kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds kind of punk.
And put crane flies down my back. I don't know what that is.
Crane flies sound uncomfortable.
She says, it was hard. I had a short spell at the Maudsley Psychiatric Hospital in London where they stuck electrodes on my head, but the tests proved normal. And that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. Also, I don't believe any psychiatric testing in the 70s.
The levitation was scary because you didn't know where you're going to land. I remember a curtain being wound around my neck. I was screaming. I thought I was going to die. My mom had to use all her strength to rip it away. The man who spoke through me, Bill, seemed a great name.
Yeah. Bill's just like a chill.
Bill. Bill.
One more time.
Bill.
It's like, what if it were like Gary?
Yeah, I know.
Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Bill, the situation had Bill didn't like that the family was in his house. And
that makes
she
sense.
still sticks with it. She actually, I think, left home at 16. She got married young. She was on the front page of the Daily Star with the headline, Possessed by the Devil. But the thing,
wasn't Ghost Girl?
no, they kind of...
She kind of went away from that.
So what some people are saying is like they would lock themselves in their bedroom, make weird noises, pretending to be possessed. The girl insisted the visitors could only come into the bedroom if certain conditions were met. Mm-hmm. One, you didn't come in at all, and two, you just believed us. As soon as visitors facing the wall, okay, this is what I read, with their eyes covered, slippers and pillows began miraculously hitting them.
Whoa.
Janet says it was eager to keep details of her present day life, fear of attracting ridicule. She says, what she experienced was a genuine paranormal entity. I know from my own experience that it was real.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How much money do you want?
Yeah. She says, it lived off me, off my energy. Call me mad or a prankster if you like. Those events did happen. The poltergeist was with me, and I feel in a sense that he will always be with me.
See, this is such an abstraction that is just like, so you're a human?
Yeah.
That's alive. Like the coded wording of this is like, I did this.
And also it's like, if that's kind of like your claim to fame, if you let that go, sometimes you don't know who you are without that thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's so many things with cases like that. And not even just, hauntings, but just like any kind of trauma too.
We talked about the Zeddy Reculi UFO, the Barney and Betty Hill episode.
They are great examples of
They're
this.
great examples of that where Betty Hill goes on and still I see UFOs and, for years and years. And even people were like, this seems a little bit like it's just become your thing. So you're inventing things because without this, maybe it's a connection to your husband that passed away, and I am not here to judge that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Also, like, there has to be a rule. I'm making a rule right here. If you are participating in some kind of hoax, some kind of conspiracy, some kind of something that we don't know the real truth about, before you die, can you just like tell us, just like on your deathbed, just like say what really happened, or like just like
put it on a podcast, please.
Send it to us. Send it to ghosttownpod@gmail.com.
Yeah, and then where we'll put it? Patreon.com/ghosttownpod. Yes. Patreon.com/ghosttownpod, where we have a very haunted episode, the full reading from uncut of the Roosevelt Hotel episode
with our psychic medium.
That's there. The Ghost Watch episode is there. If you want another British host, not named Boo, different
Gary. It's Gary.
Now you sound like you're haunted. That would be so annoying. Yeah.
This is recorded. This is real.
And if you let those things go, then maybe you feel like what is your identity? Maybe I don't know what people's frames of mind are, where they're at with those kind of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's all very fascinating. I enjoy it all very much.
Now, would you be surprised to know that the Warrens were involved in this in some way?
Of course.
Yeah.
Fucking like a moth to a flame.
Yes.
The Warrens with their weird tools. They emerged from the forests of Connecticut.
And there's a movie, The Conjuring 2, the Enfield Poltergeist. The movie is supposedly based on the true story. According to Lorraine Warren, it even comes up with an explanation on the proven fakery on display. The ghosts themselves forced Janet to fake stuff in order to throw off the investigators. That's what they're saying.
Movie. They're like throw.
They're like, yeah, right. And the ghosts are like, good, make it seem fake.
Yeah, this is not getting convoluted at all.
Yeah.
We're ghosts.
Yeah, so
We're ghosts.
Bill.
Gary.